There is now a new version of CliniScript.net available for upgrade. The following video will go through some of the main topics in this release. The main topics include some changes to follows during dispensing, the to follow queue, a new daily audit report lock, changes to height and weight details, required fields in the patient file, and changes to the last order date and last modified by. An important point to note before running this upgrade is that the system will automatically rebuild the prescription and the order files first time you log into the system after the upgrade is finished. After the upgrade, you should log into the server where possible to allow the file rebuilds to take place in the fastest manner possible. The duration this will take to complete will vary from site to site, and this should be taken into consideration when scheduling the upgrade. All existing to follow entries will be cleared down, and users should print the to follow report before upgrading the system to keep accurate copy of existing to follows. The method for dispensing to follows using the ward stock list is mainly unchanged. Select your ward and select your drug to dispense. Enter the quantity to issue and the quantity to follow here. Press enter to save your changes. When you're finished dispensing, press the F10 key. You'll be prompted to print a delivery docket and a to follow docket. Dispensing a to follow using the option issue stock to patients is mainly unchanged also. Enter the patient name or the ward name. Then select the drug to dispense. Enter your quantity and instructions as normal, and to put in your to follow, select option 5 and enter the quantity to follow. You can now see the quantity to follow here in the patient history. On finishing the dispensing, the medication label will be printed. A to follow label can also now be configured to print at this point. To set a to follow label to print, go to Administration, Edit Files, Patient Related Files, and select the cost center file. Select the cost center to edit and change option 11 to say yes to print a to follow label. Press enter to save your changes and escape. To dispense a to follow, open the patient or ward and press tab into the history. Press enter to select the drug and then press escape. You will get the following message asking, do you want to dispense some of the balance now? Press enter for yes and enter the quantity to dispense. A dispensing label should now print. A new option has been added when editing a prescription item. In a patient or a ward, press tab to get into the history. Select an item and press F9 to modify. A new option, option 10, issued to date, has been added here. Press 10 and enter to access this area. You will see each instance of a dispensing for this drug. Highlight the instance and press enter to modify. You can modify details here of the dispensing. Press enter to save and press escape. A new to follow queue has been added to the main menu. Select main and then select to follow queue. Here you will see a list of all to follows for patients and wards. You can fulfill a to follow from here by highlighting the item and pressing enter. You'll be prompted to enter the quantity you would like to issue, enter the quantity and press enter to save. When issuing to a ward, select the item and press enter. Again, you can enter the quantity you want to dispense, press enter to save. You will also be prompted to print a to follow docket. Select yes or no here. There are two other options on this screen. F6 will allow you to change the sort order of the to follow list. You can choose oldest first, newest first, surname, or by quantity. The last option is F10 to print the to follows list from here. A to follow label can be set to print for any to follow medication dispensed. The layout of this label can be modified. Go to Administration, Edit Files, Miscellaneous Files and select Label Layout File. From here, select Edit to Follow Label and change your details on screen here. Press Escape and Y for yes to save your changes. In the configuration options under Pricing Part 1, there is an option that records the last daily audit report date and time. Previously, when a user attempted to edit a script that was dated before this date, they will receive a message to say that the script item was included in the daily audit report and the action was not allowed. A change has now been made to the system where it will no longer stop the user from editing an item that has been printed on the daily audit report. A new configuration has been added to Defaults Part 2 in the Configuration menu. Option 22, Printed on Daily Audit Report Warning. When this setting is enabled to yes, the user will be prompted with a message confirming that the item has already been printed on the daily audit report and are you sure you wish to continue. A change has been made to the height and weight options in the patient details screen. Selecting option 25 or 26 will now show you the following screen. Here you can enter the height and weight of the patient. Press enter to save your details here, and press enter again on the patient details screen to save all your changes. There is a new button F6 available here when editing the patient details, which will allow you to view, edit and delete the height and weight history for the patient. Pressing F6 will display the following window. Press enter to modify any records here. Make your changes and press enter to save. A change was requested to set certain fields as being required fields when entering a patient. A modification was made to the patient file to require the patient's first name, surname and date of birth to be entered before the patient can be saved. Previously, when creating a new patient record, you will be brought straight to field 1, the patient name. Now the system will prompt you to enter the patient type first, as it dictates if the first name and surname and date of birth are required fields. If it's a ward, these fields are not required. After selecting the patient type, you are then brought to field 1, the patient name, where you'll be required to enter information. If the patient has been set to an in or outpatient, you'll be required to put in the first name, surname and date of birth. If the user attempts to edit an existing patient where the patient name does not conform or no date of birth exists, the user will be prompted to correct these details before continuing. 2 new fields have been added to the F2 screen when ordering. Under option 5, there is a last modified by field added here. This will record the user who last modified this item on the once list. The last order date has been added to record the last date the item has been ordered. The date shown will be the date the item was last sent on an order and is not dependent on check-in or if the supplier sent back shorts against the item.